Good morning, I'm Clinton Griffiths. As the northern stretches of the country deal with one of the coldest Aprils on record, planters are slowly starting to unfreeze. Later today, USDA releasing a planting progress update, and by all accounts, the pace should be much improved. So what should farmers expect from the weather the rest of the season? Betsy Gibbon reports.
As planters roll in parts of the Corn Belt,
the last few days now has gotten pretty fit, and the forecast continues to be for fairly decent weather, so we thought it's time to get rolling.
It's long overdue after a delayed start of the year from Nebraska.
Spring's kind of been a roller coaster. We've had 30-degree swings.
To Ohio.
According to the news, we've been anywhere from 10 to 20 degrees below normal. We've had snow right up till even including this morning.
And that cool weather may continue for some.
Drought may not be a real big factor for the 2018 growing season, particularly across the Midwest and the northern plains.
Looking at June, Rippey says not to bank on excessive heat in the Corn Belt, saying heat waves could be brief.
The very early look for summer is that we should not have prolonged periods of excessive heat for the northern plains or Midwest.
Most of the wet conditions will be on the eastern half of the Corn Belt.
We've got some significant soil moisture surpluses across that region, stretching all the way from Kentucky and Tennessee into Ohio and Michigan. If we can keep these steady cold fronts moving through from Canada, that should also supply rain, which is likely to be heavier in eastern production areas.
The southern plains and the southwest experiencing a much different situation. Months without rain and wildfires rolling through the countryside is creating extreme to exceptional drought on the drought monitor.
We're in a severe drought. We hadn't had decent moisture all winter, and we're approaching planting season, and we're going into it dry, so the outlook is not real good.
Rippey does not believe this year is a repeat of 2011.
There maybe was a La Nina influence in 2010-11. But again, the way it's developed and begun to play out appears to be different than what we're seeing in 2017 and 2018.
The southern plains received rain over a week ago. Rippey believes it's a sign. The weather patterns are already starting to change. Instead of 2011, Rippey compares this year to 1995 or 1996 for the U.S.
Both years featured very punishing, short-lived droughts that really lasted just 6 or 7 months, but had a huge impact on the winter wheat crop across the southern plains. But if you go back to 1996 and look at the eventual outcome, we started getting some good rains starting in May. They continued on through the summer.
He says it was a cool year for crops around the southern plains, which helped cotton in Texas.
So the hope is that this will continue to be an analog from this point forward. The news was relatively good in 1996, and we were able to salvage the summer crop season.
Until then, planters starting up around the Corn Belt and farmers hoping for the best this season. Reporting for Ag Day, I'm Betsy Gibbon.
Thanks, Betsy. Rippey says he is watching northern Missouri and southern Iowa, two areas which could see drier conditions during the growing season. In a few minutes, Ag Day meteorologist Mike Hoffman reveals his 90-day forecast.